Summoner's War version 8.2.3 is here. It's the big update with the balance patch, the amazing balance patch where they fixed all of the broken game mechanics and made all of the units that were bad into amazing. Oh no, that's my imagination. Right, that's my imagination. It was the balance patch that everyone complained about. That was the balance patch. Well, that balance patch is here. We also have the Witcher collab. I am apparently excited about different stuff than you guys are excited about in the Witcher collab. I'm excited about the Gwent minigame. I know I'm in the minority in that, but we're going to do some videos on it regardless. We also do have all the new Witcher units as well. They did modify a couple things from the balance patch here, but for the most part, this video is going to be, why is there so much empty space? I assume that that's on my part. I don't know what I did to make so much empty space, but this is mostly going to be going over the new units. So we have the monster scale balance adjustments. Most of these are the same, except for the Water and Light Panda Warrior, the second skill Dragon's Dance. It was damage proportion to max HP and attack power. That got changed in the pre-notice to damage proportion to attack power. Now they're changing it again. So it's not going to be damage proportion to your attack power. It's going to be damage proportion to your max HP will remain, and the damage has been decreased greatly. It was really, really decreased. People did the math already. It was, I think they nerfed it by 2/3. I don't know who was calling for a Molong. People complain about T-Online, of course, because they complain about every LD5, as long as they don't own them. T-Online owners, they would never complain about that. But yeah, sadly, Molong had to get nerfed. This sounds good, damage proportion to your max HP, but it's just the percentage, the numbers that they multiply those by are severely nerfed, which. Yeah, T-Online is mostly about his passive anyway, not really about his damage. But Dark Phoenix has actually been remodified because Couch was like, we made this bad unit worse. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Or it depends on who you ask. If people are playing PvP a lot, then they enjoy the prevents revive. But if people are only playing PvE and they just want him for dungeons, then the brand is the brand was the buff, right? No, he had a brand before. What was I don't even remember the buff. I'm already so confused. Witcher 3 Wild. No, it was the crit. He was critting as long as his attack power was high enough. But yeah, if you're a casual player and you only do PvE, the crit is great for you. That's a buff for you. But if you're a PvP player that has been playing the game for 10 years that it's out, and you happen to have the Dark Phoenix, that was a rough nerf for you. Like, it's not a great unit to begin with. Witcher collaboration units, we're gonna go over those in a bit. I just want to go over this whole the rest of the things in here first. Collab exclusive building, which we've already talked about. This we're gonna do a video specifically on Gwent. I am excited. I'm the only one. I know I'm the only one excited about the Gwent minigame. The event dungeon, which is the same as the Assassin's Creed dungeon for the most part. What else do we have? These, I mean, they look juicy at first, and then, you know, if you want to put the effort in, do them, by all means. But, you know, this is just going to be a light battle mammoth, so not really anything too... Oh, wait, the light battle mammoth is actually... They teased a Second Awakening for that. It's not like a trailer or anything. They just teased it in the Gwent minigame as the little skill description. They're like, I can't wait for my Second Awakening. I'm gonna be so good after my Second Awakening. So, yeah, is Count to us teasing it, or are they just messing with us? They could just be messing with us. I don't know. What else do we have? Collab characters in TOA, Arena Rival Master X. We've had him before. You just get to play against some of the new units. Some of the collab characters. This is just a list of all the things that you can buy from ComToUs to get the new units. And then the Witcher scroll, the Witcher special banner, which just gives you an increased chance to get it. You're not guaranteed for any new players, you're not guaranteed to get anything. We have Geralt emojis, which I actually have not seen yet because I don't like to go into the normal chat channel because normal chat channels because they are toxic as usual. And I'm already toxic enough. We don't need me to be even more toxic. So we do have some different siege battle changes for these special siege things. I think that these are interesting, except the Valkyria cannot be used in this battle. Okay. Not a whole lot of Valkyrias used in Siege, in from what I've seen anyway. Unless people want to use Camille's on offense, that would be the biggest thing for me. Some of these are interesting, but monster stat adjustments for mock battle, checking which monsters match the collab monsters for the Assassin's Creed, the Cookie Run Kingdom, the Street Fighter, etc. In case new players are confused at what units do what and which ones match up to which ones. There's something else that I want to mention. Oh, they did some not some skill changes, some bug fixes. I don't know if Comtuos is not aware of this or if they're just ignoring it. There is a bug where you can't sell multiple you can't sell multiple grinds and gems. I don't know if this is affecting nobody, or I keep encountering this bug all the time. I have issues selling my grinds and gems for at least a couple weeks now, I think. It's not right after this update. It's been going on, but I thought they would have fixed it by now, so I didn't really say anything. I'm like, oh, they must know. It's a pretty noticeable thing, but I guess not. We have this cinematic video, which was just a little one, unless I missed something else. We have, of course, new packs, quality of life changes and improvements. We get some deductions in guild points, which is always nice. What else do we have? I think for the most part. Oh, there is something that I wanted to mention for bugs on the Steam version. This was actually done by Simple Tony. He said he changed this and it worked really well for him. He hasn't been having any bugs. Changing the resolution to 16:9 and then just making the window bigger has actually worked for him, and he has not been encountering the same bugs as I have been encountering. So I'm going to change it to that and see how that goes. What else do we have? Just some game error fixes, but I think maybe this is referencing that though. Ruin managed gem grind standard issue of setting the number of sub properties and cell exclusion set. No, we'll see, I guess. But yeah, let's go take a look at the new monsters and what they do. Let's get us started over here with the Water Geralt. This is the unit that everyone gets for free from the event. All of the Geralts are Nat 5s, I believe. Some of the other ones are a mix of 4 stars and 5 stars, but these are all Nat 5s, base speed of 100. Their leader skills are all of the respective attack powers for their respective elements. And the Water Geralt, the one that we get for free very easily, is a great unit for dungeons, I feel. I mean, you could use him for other stuff as well, but he's going to be a great unit for dungeons, especially dragons. He's got the first skill, decrease attack power for 2 turns, 50% chance. It's good against bosses, attack power decrease. Whirl attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit decreases their defense for 2 turns with a 30% chance, and their attack bar by 20% with a 30% chance. He's very similar to the Water Vampire, which I already like. He's very similar to the Water Phantom Thief. It's a second skill. The activation rate isn't crazy, but it is an AoE defense break and attack gauge reduction, which is nice. And then we have this third skill. The biggest thing that's going to be a struggle here is the harmful effect rate being low. I don't know why they made it so low. Maybe they're going to buff it in the future in 6 months, 9 months, who knows. And then we have the Rend, attack the enemy to stun for 1 turn, resets the attack bar, the damage proportion to the enemy's max HP. Not really a thing for most PvP scenarios, but for PvE is nice. Damage based on enemy max HP. If the target's immune to stun, like a boss would be, the skill cooldown of Rend decreases by 2 turns. So he is going to be able to use this quite a lot. Max HP based damage, decrease attack bar, and it's going to be a great unit for Dragons Abyss Dragons V12. I'm sure he's going to be great in. And we'll do a video, we'll test them out in there, as well as some other dungeons. You know, that's the first thing that the mind goes to is like, is he great for Dragons B10 to 12? Oh my god. Too many years doing this, guys. Too many years doing this. Then we have the Fire one. I didn't take a look at all of the skills for all of these yet, but we have the Fire one. Looks like he's got the same second skill, Whirl, which, again, the harmful effect rate is kind of rough. And we have the Igni, third skill, attacks all enemies 3 times, each hit inflicting continuous damage for 2 turns. Attack the target under continuous damage, stuns the target for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Not bad. He's kind of like Rika, but with a defense break and attack gauge reduction with skill 2. So, that's not bad. Then we have the Wind Geralt. I was gonna say, and then we have Geralt. No, it's the Wind. They're all named Geralt. It's the Wind Geralt. Same for a skill. Second skill is Dancing Star Attack. All enemies 2 times. First attack installs a bomb that detonates after 2. We just saw this kind of in the Dev Note video where he was putting bombs on the enemies. First attack installs a bomb that detonates after 2 turns with a 50% chance. The second attack stuns all enemies for 1 turn with a 30% chance. Not a great chance to install the bomb or stun. Harmful effect rate goes up, but this guy might wind up being in the balance patch later because people are gonna be like, oh, this unit doesn't bomb. First, you need the bomb chance, and then RNG is RNG. And then we have the Metamorphosis passive. Whenever you grant harmful effects on the enemy with your skill, you grant yourself shield, immunity, or counterattack for 2 turns each if the effect is not already applied to yourself. So that is a fun passive. We'll play around. I want to say we'll play around with him. He's an HP unit, though. So he's a bomber, but he's also an HP unit versus attack unit. This one comes with Fatal Runes. I think that Rage is a better option for him just because damage based on enemy max HP. And then also I'd make sure that he's got some decent accuracy as well. What is the Awakening? Right. Right. You clicked on it anyway. And then we have Light Geralt. Unit that none of us will ever get. We've got Whirl is the same one as the fire and the water ones, and then Adrenaline Rush passive stacks 1 adrenaline score whenever you attack the enemy up to 5 scores. At 3 or higher adrenaline scores, Whirl can be used regardless of its skill cooldown time. You lose 1 adrenaline score and you increase your attack bar by 30% whenever you're attacked by the enemy. Interesting. Adrenaline score, kind of like the knowledge from the... Well, actually, I don't know if it stacks the same way. Let's do this. Let's kind of see it in action. I'll see how he does. I thought we were going to be able to see a little bit more. You can see his passive activating, though. So... That's looking kind of... Where's the... where are we going? It's looking kind of nasty, though. So, I'm excited to see that potentially. Never play with it because, of course. But I'm excited to see that in action. And then we have the Dark one, which also has a... People are going to complain about this. You get an LD5 and it's like less accurate bombs than like the Light Cobalt Bomber or the Dark Joker. So people are going to definitely complain about the activation rate there. No doubt about it. Alchemy passive increases the duration of beneficial effects granted by skills on yourself by 1 turn. Additionally, increases the damage dealt to the enemy by 20% and the harmful effect activation rate by 10% for each beneficial effects granted on yourself. However, your HP decreases by 10% if you gain a turn while you're granted with 3 or more beneficial effects. Weird passive. Honestly, I think they're just going for... They're like, let's put a bunch of stuff in it. Let's see how it goes. So, we're gonna take a look at this. There's some pros, there's some cons. I'd like to see the crazy combo potentials that these things might have, because sometimes it's hard to see really how good a unit potentially can be when you first see it on paper. Sometimes they look amazing, and then they're like, oh, it's not as good as we thought it was gonna be. It looks good on paper, but we have Yennefer. Let's take a look at these. So we have attack, support. So fire 1 is support, water 1 is attack, wind 1 is attack, light 1 is support, and the dark 1 is attack. 5-star for fire, water, 4-star for wind, 4-star for light, and 5-star for dark. Anyone have crazy base speed? No. But we do have some leader skills. HP 38% for the fire Yennefer. What does she do? Silence with a... Silence 1 turn with the first skill. Lightning Bolt attack the enemy to grant Oblivion for 2 turns. Nice, another Oblivion unit. With an 80% chance, and it goes up to 100% chance after skill ups. Absorb the enemy's attack bar by 30% with a 30% chance. And then we have Magic Resonance. Passive steals 1 beneficial effect when you attack the enemy on your turn. Spreads harmful effects granted on the attack target to a random enemy target with a 50% chance. So Strip and Oblivion and multiple Oblivions. So Oblivion 2 different targets. Well, potentially 2 different targets, because 50% chance. So that is interesting. Am I going to like her more than I like Desarion? Desarion's got the damage mitigation passive, but this is a better leader skill. For Arena, anyway. So, kind of interesting. I might not like her more than Desarion, but she's kind of a mix between Desarion and a little bit of Teemo. A little bit, because Teemo does a lot more than that, but it's at least interesting. Then we have the Water Yennefer. Same first skill, the Silence. Same second skill, Lightning Bolt. Oblivion and Absorb the attack bar. And then the Electric Orb attacks all enemies 3 times. This we actually did get a chance to see in the Dev Note teaser, but we didn't really get to see too much of what this was doing. 3 times, each hit stuns for 1 turn, 50% chance, and prevents them from removing harmful effects for 2 turns with a 50% chance. The Oblivion is nice, but aside from this, I think I would rather just have Beth or something else for the remove harmful effects. I think Beth would be a better option. I mean, I guess we'll play around with it and we'll see, but or maybe we won't play around with it. Maybe we'll just see other people playing around with it. But yeah, I think I would still prefer Beth, but I shouldn't count my chickens, right? So we have Wind Yennefer. This is the 4-star. So the other one had a crit rate leader skill. This one had an HP leader skill. This one has an accuracy leader skill. Light has a defense leader skill, and Dark one has attack power leader skill. No one's got the speed lead. That would make them potentially meta. So Council's like, nah, we don't want to make them meta until 3-4 balance patches later. So Silence for skill 1, same thing as the other ones. Remove 1 harmful effect from all allies and creates a shield that's 20% of your max. Oh, we did actually take a look at this in the dev notes. So this was the cleanse and the shield. And then we have the lightning storm attacks all enemies to increase the chance of landing a glancing hit and leaves a branding effect for 2 turns. Why would I want this specifically? Unless I was setting things up to be Lucianed. I could set things up to be Lucianed there, but the AoE brand. Actually, this might be because the Dark Anubis has the AoE brand as well, but there's not really too much. There's not too many units that have the AoE brand. So, then we have the Light Yennefer, same first skill. Second skill is the Oblivion and Absorb the attack gauge, and this is a 4-star as well. So it's maybe luckily obtainable for some people. If they're summoning on the banner with the LD scrolls. When the enemy removes, so the 3rd skill passive, when the enemy removes harmful effects, beneficial effects granted on the target are removed together. Afterwards, increase your attack bar by 50%. That could be nasty, because you know there's a lot of things in the current meta that have, this might be the most meta of all the Yennefers, possibly. She's got Oblivion, she's an LD, she's a unit that people maybe can get. And she's got the passive that when the enemy cleanses, enemies cleanse a lot. Well, the bruiser teams cleanse a lot, right? Riley, Juno, Rakuni. What else? Camila. A lot of those things cleanse. So this works well against that. Hey Gang as well. Could be nice. And then we have the Dark Yennefer. Silence skill 1. Skill 2 is the cleanse and the shield. Not a very exciting skill 2 for an LD5. And then we have the 3rd skill, Static Shock. Attacks all enemies to stun and decrease their attack speed for 1 turn. Decreases the skill cooldown time of Static Shock by 1 turn if you don't get attacked during the enemy's turn. So I think I mentioned, oh, was this the one? Maybe this was the one that we saw in the dev notes, the dark one. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it might have been this one. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe with a speed lead, this could be nasty, a nasty combination. But I don't know if this really says super top tier LD5 to me. So again, we'll see all these units in action. We'll see if we change our mind on them. We have Siri. Just want to make sure no devices, no IoT devices are activating. All of them have 106 base speed. Attack, 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 attack. Everyone is attack type unit. All of them have Guild Siege leader skills, critical rate for the fire one. We'll take a look at them one by one. Let's take a look. We have Slash, first skill, attack the enemy 2 times to inflict damage in proportion to your attack speed. Each hit increases the chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns with a 30% chance. Second skill, blink strike, attack the enemy 3 times to inflict damage in proportion to your attack speed. And the enemy's... So already Leo's going to be used to counter this unit because everything seems to be working on attack speed. Attack speed and the enemy's max HP. Okay, so maybe this is a good unit for bosses. And then the wolf, although it's got a guild leader skill. There are bosses in guild content. Wolf school training passive. Your critical rate increases in proportion to your attack speed. Interesting. Have we seen something that works like this? I don't think so. Additionally, if your critical rate exceeds 100%, your critical damage increases by the exceeded amount. So just make her very fast and she gets extra crit damage. Interesting. I don't know if this is going to be a strong unit or sometimes it's like it doesn't seem crazy, but it could be crazy. I guess we'll see when we actually see it in action. Then I'm just making fun of myself now. Water leader skill for guild content, 38%. First skill is the glancing, damage proportion to your attack speed and glancing hit. Debuff, charge attack, skill 2, attack the enemy to inflict damage that ignores defense up to 80% according to the difference between the targets and your attack speed. So again, these units are all built speed, crit damage, attack for the most part. At least that's what it's looking like from here. Lady of Space and Time passive, your attacks always land as a critical hit when you attack the enemy with a slower attack speed than you. Critical hits won't occur when you're attacked by the enemy with a slower attack speed than you. They seem to be very similar. Oh, these are both 4-star. No, the water one is a 5-star. You can't get crit on though. If the enemy is slower than you. That's kind of interesting. I'm trying to think of how I feel about it. Make her super fast and then she's kind of could be tanky. I feel like she's close to being really strong, but it might take a balance patch or two to have her actually get there. And then we have Slash, which is the same. I don't know why I keep saying the same thing. Ignores defense. Skill 2, charge attack, ignores defense up to 80% according to the difference between the targets and your attack speed. And then we have the teleportation Slash, skill 3. This is for Siri, the Wind Siri, which is a Wind Nat 5. Attack the enemy 2 times, all enemies 2 times, each hit decreasing their attack speed for 2 turns. Afterwards, increase your attack bar by 35% in proportion to the number of enemies with slower attack speed than you. I don't know that I love it. I think I would prefer the, which one? This one. Eleni. Wind Gladiatrix. I think I would prefer that one to the... where we were. Let's take a look at the Light series. So this is another LD5. And then the Dark one is an LD4. So this has a attack power leader skill. We have first skill, damage based on speed, does the glancing hit. Second skill is the ignore defense based on your attack speed. And then the flash step passive, after attacking the enemy on your turn, attacks additionally to deal damage increases as the target's HP status decreases, and increase your attack speed by 20% each. By 20 each up to 200. I was going to say percent. I keep wanting to say percent. Force of habit. It's hard to get a gauge on how strong these units are going to be. And I've learned my lesson from the past. It's like, oh, this seems like it's really good. This seems like it's really bad. It's like it's you need to see it in action to really get a good grasp of how good it possibly can be. Is this a bomb third skill? First skill, so the Dark series is a guild speed lead, 28%. Okay. First skill is the speed-based damage, the glancing. Second skill, attack the enemy 3 times to inflict damage proportion to your attack speed and the enemy's max HP. And then the third skill attacks all enemies 2 times. First attack removes all beneficial effects, and the second attack decreases the attack speed for 2 turns. This is going to be used for siege defense all the time. Anyone that has this is going to use it for siege defense. I can already tell. It's got a guild siege leader skill, or a guild content speed lead, and then the skill 3 strip and slow. This is going to absolutely be used for Guild Siege. This is going to be an alternative to the Clara bases, the Clara leader skill, because Clara's got the speed lead and also has a strip there. So it is going to be used kind of similar to how that is used. I don't know if she's got, like, because this is great. I don't know if this is going to be enough for everything else, but at least she makes sense. She is a speedy unit. She does damage based on speed. She's got a speed lead. Everything says speed, speed, speed. Build her with crazy fast speed. That's that. What did we not do? What is the last one? Last one is Triss. Okay, so what does Triss have? No one has crazy base speed. This light Triss has a speed lead of 21% globally, though. So LD5, Fire 1 is a Nat 5, Water 1 is a Nat 4, Wind 1 is a Nat 4, and the LDs are 5s, because of course they are. So Triss, I think she does dots, right? I believe she does dots. Fire Shot, first skill. So all of them are going to have the same first skill. Disturb HP recovery for 2 turns, 50% chance. Second skill, attack the enemy stun for 1 turn with an 80% chance, goes up to 100% chance. Decreases defense for 2 turns with a 30% chance. Nice! 30% chance, goes up to 50. But, yeah. AoE stun and defense break. I'm sorry, not AoE. Single target stun and defense break. And then the third skill, attacks all enemies. This is a Nat 5, though. Attacks all enemies to reset their attack bar. Additionally, the attack leaves a branding effect for 2 turns, increases the chances of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns. I don't know. Why did I think she does dots? Maybe it just seemed like she should do dots. I thought she did dots. But reset attack bar, brand, and glancing hit. That's actually... I think that's going to be better than I realize. I have a feeling this is going to be better than I realize. Yeah, I could see this being useful. Because it seems like, oh, AoE glancing hit, not very exciting. Not AoE defense break, not AoE, like, increased cooldowns. But I think this actually will be kind of nice. It'll be like a fire version of Charlotte. No attack bar boost, but also you do get the branding effect there. So I see some people might have the, might see the potential there. Water 1, so she's got the same first skill. Second skill is attack the enemy 2 times. First attack is continuous damage for 2 turns with an 80% chance. Second attack prevents the enemy from removing harmful effects with 2 turns with an 80% chance. And it goes up to 100% for both of those. Seer passive, the enemy takes damage from continuous damage when it gains a turn. Inflicts continuous damage on a random enemy target, excluding the target for 2 turns. However, this effect does not accumulate. Additionally, it removes 1 beneficial effect with a 50% chance whenever you attack the enemy on your turn. So she strips and does continuous damage. Okay. Very exciting. Is this... Sadly, continuous damage is not as strong as it used to be because of Abyss Dungeons. So I'm gonna not get too excited about that. Wind Triss, same first skill. Second skill is the continuous damage, just like the water one we just saw. And then the Firestorm. Maybe this is the one that does all the continuous damage. Attacks all enemies 2 to 4 times to inflict continuous damage for 2 turns. Increase your attack bar by 10% in proportion to the number of continuous damage inflicted by this attack. All enemies 2 to 4 times for continuous damage. This could be good for TOA. And then turn cycle. Yeah, this could... I mean, you got to also think that there's another wind 4-star that is very easy to skill up is Melia, who also does a whole bunch of continuous damage. But this could be decent enough. Does a lot of dots. Again, dots are not as strong as they used to be, but and then we have the LD Triss. So these are Fire 1 is attack, Water 1 is support, Wind 1 is support, Light 1 is support, and then Dark 1 is attack. So speed lead here. We have same first skill. Second skill is the continuous damage. Nice. Continuous damage. Gotta love that on a LD. So we have like Tian Lang's second skill. Strip everyone. I mean, I know Tian Lang's damage was nerfed, but still, strip and stun, right? And then we have Triss, who's like, hey, I'm gonna do a single target continuous damage. Okay. And then Burning Touch passive, the enemy takes damage from continuous damage when it gains a turn. Decrease the HP of all enemies, excluding the target, by half the damage dealt. It's not a lot of damage.
About half the damage dealt. However, this effect does not accumulate and does not apply in boss battles. Additionally, oh, so the one place you'd want continuous damage. Got it. Additionally, inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns whenever you attack the enemy. Not the thing that I feel that I would want from an LD5, and what I feel a lot of people would want from an LD5. Yeah. I feel like this is a weak LD5. Maybe I'm not seeing something. I feel like that's a weak LD5. Let's take a look at the dark one now. This is the last one, I believe. Oh my goodness. Attack the enemy to... This is the same first skill. I don't know why I keep saying them. We've got the stun and the defense break for skill 2. And we have Meteor Strike, attacks all enemies with each hit inflicting continuous damage for 2 turns. This attack ignores the defense in proportion to the number of harmful effects granted on the enemy target. This would be an interesting thing to actually see in action, how much it does. Continuous damage, multi-hits, ignore defense proportionate to the number of harmful effects. So you bring this in with other things. For example, well, there's a few units that have a whole lot of harmful effects. You could combo this with Tomoe. You could combo this with the Wind. Devil Maiden. That's what I was going. That's what this is. It's not a Venus flytrap. It's a Devil Maiden. Because the box. I was going to make some comments, but I probably shouldn't make comments about the unit's box. Yeah, I think this could be a really interesting, potentially strong combination. So, I'm not too excited about the light one. I am excited about the potential of the dark one, especially if you combo her with things that do a lot of harmful effects. On paper. But also it's an LD5, so probably is decently strong in action. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that's about it. We take a look at the skill preview. But yeah, some of these, of course, are going to not be as strong as they will be eventually. I'm sure they'll be very strong one day. Some of them look good. Some of them definitely look interesting, but also some of the ones that do like things based on attack speed, like the series, those might be better than I think they are, because it's hard to gauge things that you can't really see in the skill description. It's like, oh, this could do this could do that. It's like, let's see how it works, right? So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys, we don't need to see this one. I don't know, maybe she's gonna be good and I'm just not seeing it. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you as always in the next one.